Now I've got a really fun pattern for you today, and I know I say that all the time, but this one really is. And that's doing one of the most fun things we can do at the bench, and that's just coming up with your own pattern or taking a well-known popular pattern and changing it up. And one of the things I do, I keep a stack of blank index cards on my desk. Anytime I'm going through a book or a magazine and I get some inspiration, I might just sit down, take some notes, maybe draw a little picture, something like this, of a pattern that I want to tie. And I came up with one this week, which it's really a variation of a slump buster. I saw it in one of my books, and I was thinking, I really wish I'd had this thing on the Potomac last week. I was having a pretty decent day with dry flies, but there were some stretches that a heavy, meaty streamer just might have been the ticket. So this pattern, it's just basically a slump buster. It's got a bead on it. I'm using a cone bead, but you could use a round bead or no bead at all. I'm tying it heavy, and I'm putting a little bit of a flashy body on it because I just want a little bit of sparkle on the belly. And I'm putting a hot spot on it because, you know, why not? And the cool thing about a pattern like this, the color combinations are really infinite. You could tie it dark and fish it as a leech. You could tie it in bright colors, fish it as a straight up attractor pattern, or maybe just some neutral colors and fish it as a bait fish pattern. So a simple little pattern like this, they're really easy to tie and just super fun to fish, and they just catch a lot of fish. So there it is in the vise. Basically, it's just a slump buster, but tied in a micro style with a little bit of a flash belly and then a little bit of a different colored thorax up there. And I would say the bead on this, totally optional. And you certainly don't need to use a cone head bead. I do like them, so I'm going to use one, but that's a size 8, 3 extra long barbless streamer hook. And I am going to weight it. Here is one tip for, this is 020. One tip for putting your weight in a bobbin holder is you can just catch it in real close to the butt end of your wire. I'm going to go with about 8 wraps here. I need to feed a little bit more out. There we go. Okay, is that 8? Yeah, pretty close. But put your thumb up underneath. Now you can helicopter this off. And if you're lucky, it'll break right next to the hook. And what you can do, after you jam that up in there, we've got that little nub on the bottom. We can just wrap this around, and we haven't wasted any wire at all. And you know this lead-free wire it's not cheap. I mean, it's not prohibitively expensive, but there you go. We didn't waste any. And now, some black thread, got a little fuzz right there. I'll just put a little dam behind this weight, put a few wraps over it, and bring it on back. Now we've got 2 more components before the Zonker, and this is a wire that's going to hold the Zonker strip in place. I don't think what wire you use here is going to matter. This is a silver in size brassy, but yeah, I think anything is going to work for you right there, okay? Got that caught in. Now, since I want a little bit of flash, a little bit of, you know, just something sparkly on the body, we could go with a sow scud or an ice dub or anything like that, but this is a little bit cheating. Just take some Cactus chenille. This makes bodies like this so much easier. I'm going to catch it in right behind that weight, and why I'm doing that is it'll kind of even out that area right there. Okay, so that's fine. Now we'll take our thread up here just a little bit behind the cone bead. And now we'll just wrap this up. You'll see how easy this is. And I love this stuff for bodies. You know, some nymphs, but typically streamer bodies like this. It's just so easy to work with. It's kind of cheap. And it gives you a lot of bang for the buck. Get a lot of flash here with pretty minimal effort. So a couple wraps to secure that, I think will be fine. And that thread core is really strong, so you don't even need to reinforce it. But it will be reinforced anyway when we wrap that wire up to hold this Zonker strip in place. So this is a rabbit in grizzly, and it's called a micro because, you know, this is a size 8, it's a pretty small streamer. So I would say that the width of that leather right there is maybe, it's not quite, it's a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch, I'd say, but it's not as big as a 1/4. So I'm just going to do 2 wraps right here to kind of temporarily hold that in place while I get my wire ready and open this up right here. Now this Zonker strip might be a little bit longer than I need, but we can always trim a 1/4 inch or so off. And we don't need too many wraps to really hold this in place. Probably 3 will get us up there to the front of the fly. So just kind of open that up right there. You can take your bodkin if you need. I probably should have, but I'm just using my fingers. Okay, I'll speed this up, get these last 2 through here. Okay, we're getting a little bit messy right there, but we're gonna be fine. So go ahead and secure this wire up here behind the bead. With enough wraps, we can pull our thread tight, helicopter this off. And really, we could finish this head and call this fly done. I'm sure it would fish, but I'm gonna get a little crazy and go with this Diamond Bright, kind of like an ice stub right here, and I'm gonna go with a pink. And I don't know if this little pinkish red is gonna make it any cooler or not. Maybe not, might not make any difference. But if the fish are keying on a hot spot, yeah, this could be a trigger. So just put a little bit of this Diamond Bright right there. Maybe not a little, if you're gonna go through all the trouble to make this little hot spot, make it a big enough one for them to see. So let's make sure our thread stays right behind that bead. And now let's just whip finish it. And there we go. Take a look at this. Do we have any cleanup? Absolutely not. It's a fuzzy mess, but that's exactly what I want. And this one, I think that's about the right length. You might want to, if you're not paying attention or you made it a little bit too long, just snip an 1/8 of an inch off the tail if you think you need. But there we go, little Micro Slump Buster with a hot spot. Pretty fun pattern, easy to tie, and definitely these things are just fun to fish. So I appreciate you watching, everybody. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.